reduce the sort of number of sites that can easily hit the Strait of Hormuz. So basically the plan, I think, I mean, I'm not an expert, but it just seems to me that the plan is to shift the sort of drone and missile facilities that Iran is using to hit the Strait of Hormuz, shift that up into Iran by several hundred kilometers so that it can actually be managed in terms of defending it. Because if you're on British Island and the Strait of Hormuz is right underneath you, then obviously you can hit it at any time. You will hit it very precisely. But if you're hundreds of kilometers away from it, then that obviously makes it a lot more an accurate, successful hit. So that's how it seems to me. But again, it's just the willpower needs to be there. First of all, the second thing that's really needed is the backing of the psychology of the nation. Those are the things that are not sort of synced or they're not comprehensive either. I think that's where I leave my thoughts.
So you asked a couple of questions. I'm going to take a stab at answering them. And let me see how this fits from your perspective. One potential answer is that the president's end game is a deliberate covert effort to align with Russia and Iran to destroy U.S. global influence, because as you point out, Iran wants us out of the region, Russia wants us out of the region so that they can move in. One leave that question lingering in the back of one's mind as a potentiality. Most of the people who have analyzed all this, such as the Council on Foreign Relations and others, are saying, no, Gary, that's not a possibility. That this is a classic case of strategic miscalculation, ideological friction, and entrapment into yet another forever war. So while the consequences of this conflict may inadvertently serve the interest of Moscow and Tehran, most of the assessments that I've read about it, because this is a question that's been burning at me, are rejecting the idea of some kind of an intentional accord, so to speak. So I looked at an analysis in Foreign Affairs, which is the publication of the Council on Foreign Relations. And that analysis suggests that when the president initiated the war early this year, he had an aggressive pressure strategy. And he assumed, perhaps naively and maybe not perhaps based on the facts on the ground, that these massive airstrikes and the assassination of Khamenei would trigger a rapid collapse of the regime or force an immediate surrender. Well, that didn't happen. We know that instead of collapsing, Iran dug in. As others, Andrew mentioned, they've adapted their tactics. They choked off the Strait of Hormuz. And so the administration now is forced itself into a reactive military cycle with no clear exit. I don't know which one of those analyses fits best with you, Amir. The first one seems like the simple answer, but that's a pretty onerous suggestion. Maybe it's wrong.
Well, I mean, I'm not really into the sort of, conspiracy theories as such, which the first one kind of leans towards a little bit. But then the second one, I actually think it's a heck of a lot is at stake. I think the entire relationship between East and West is at stake here. I think the Strait of Hormuz will determine how America, who is the leader of the Western world, is going to be seen, and subsequently, as a result of that, the entire Western sort of world, if you like, is going to be seen. So the relation, the dynamics between the East and West will change if America decides to throw in the towel. We have absolutely no doubt about that. I don't know what you think about that, Gary.
I think it would be horrific if the United States threw in the towel, but I am in a minority, Amir. And so, as you pointed out, and others have before you, you can't win a war, you can't prosecute a war without the support of the populace. And this war was never sold to the American people. Hell, it wasn't even sold to the members of Congress. Hell, it wasn't even sold to the Republican members of Congress. And the contradictory commentary from the president, as I pointed out earlier, they're now saying, oh, the prices at the pump, they're going to plummet once we reopen the Strait of Hormuz, but the president claims the Strait of Hormuz is open. So, I've been taking it on the chin, quite frankly, Amir, in my social media postings, for simply posting a statement made by the president. People just attack me left, right, and center. I'm not doing my job as a journalist because I'm not pointing out to people that the president lies every time he opens his mouth. If you just say what the president is stating, what he posted a minute ago on Truth Social, accurately, nobody's saying that I'm misstating or misrepresenting what the president says. Well, hell, I might as well be his press secretary because I'm carrying his water. People are not ready to buy in to this war because they do not like the commander-in-chief. I think that's my thumbnail analysis of it, Amir. I don't know, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I fully understand the frustration that you have, your job. I mean, obviously, the last time we spoke, you were equally frustrated when I said don't take much notice of what presidents say. And you said, how can I not? And I said, you're absolutely right there. But then you have to look at the trajectory of what he does or the events on the ground and see where that is leading. For me, if America was going to throw in the towel, why the hell would it knock down dozens of bridges feeding to the south of the country? I mean, that's just obvious. It's a very obvious question. By the way, nobody calls this a war anymore, which is quite interesting. I mean, they're firing missiles at each other, killing people, and all the rest of it. There are about 100 lorries now stuck at the bottom end of Iran. They delivered goods, and they want to bring back fuels. They're filled up with fuels, and now they're stuck because all these bridges have been destroyed. So it's obviously affecting the livelihood of, thousands of people, and not to mention people who are losing their lives. And yet nobody calls this a war because they don't want, I don't know why Iran doesn't want to call it a war, by the way, because it would benefit them if they did call it a war, because it would effectively increase the prices in the West for oil. And I would have thought that's their advantage, but maybe because of the internal politics that they don't want to call it a war. I don't know about that. But I can understand your frustration. But at the end of the day, they have to make a decision on the fundamentals here at the high level. Okay, it didn't work out. There was a miscalculation. It's a bit like me going down the road. Okay, I hit a dead end. What do? Do I turn around and come back home? Well, maybe not. Maybe I look at, Google Map and I find another way. And I think that's where we are.
I would suggest to you, Amir, that was your first mistake. You looked at Google Maps. Why can't we pull out a Rand McNally any longer? People don't know how to read maps. Thanks, Amir. Sin, I guess you get the last word.
No, so I thought I just saw the news about the Houthis threatening Saudi Arabia
Yes.
to cut off the Red Sea, and I'm like, what's going on there? Like, if these are the two major chokeholds, right? So a lot of the oil that leaves the Middle East get blocked by the Strait of Hormuz, which goes to the Asia, and then the trouble for Europe is the Red Sea. So combined together, we're looking at 30 to 40% of all the world trade. Actually, to be honest with you, it's more than that, but that's what the official numbers are. But I feel like without oil, it has a ripple effect on every other thing, right? Like, oil is a basis of every economy, at least fossil fuel, that is. So, is Trump not capable of getting the deal that he wanted? And why are we not looking at and anticipating this move by the Houthis? And what do you think the U.S. policy should be going forward? Because I don't know if two major strains or choke points of the world affected is going to be a good thing for any economy. And as a not a citizen, but as a person that's engaged in the economy of the world, should we worry about another major economic downturn because of this?
So, the Houthis, as we all know, are rebels in Yemen, and they are controlled and financed by Iran. So this is a front that's being opened by Iran. They're putting a greater squeeze because they see that the petrol flow and the petrodollar is a choke point politically for the United States. So they have declared today an immediate and total naval blockade against Saudi Arabia. Do they have the capability of doing this? I don't know, but that's what they declared. So at the very least, they've opened a dangerous new front, expanding the war, and I will call it a war. So there was a televised video statement by the Houthi military spokesman announcing this maritime embargo under the equation of an eye for an eye. The move is direct retaliation for the Saudi siege on Yemen and the recent coalition airstrike targeting Sana'a International Airport. And so it places critical global energy corridors under a double squeeze now. And I don't know, I'm not a student of history to that degree, and I know the term unprecedented is tossed around cavalierly, but I do not believe that there's been such a double squeeze before. So you're absolutely right in your analysis, Sin. Personally, since you asked me, I think one of the biggest mistakes in all of this was the president's failure to put together a coalition of the willing before going in. I don't know what he was thinking. We do not have Europe behind us, even though Europe is being impacted by all of this. And part of this also has to do with his derogatory remarks toward NATO. Could he have affected the NATO allies paying their fair share and doing more to provide self-protection without embarrassing them on the world stage in the manner in which he did? I don't know. And maybe it was a necessary tool and an effective one, his version of the art of the deal, to get them off off their rear ends to do what they needed to do. So at least what occurred as a result of this in that regard, I guess could be chalked up as a success of his administration. But the flip side of that is, what was the cost? And the cost, I believe, for what it's worth, I'm not an expert, others can disagree, but for what it's worth, I believe the cost is he alienated them so badly that there was no way he could go and ask for another coalition of the willing. Because if he had done it and it had been turned down, he would have been embarrassed, and that would have made him a loser. And we know this president doesn't like losers.
So, can I be fair in your judgment and assessment?
I hope
not
you
to
are.
Not to say that you're wrong. I think those are weaknesses that could be attributed to the current president. But wasn't it Biden who stopped the Saudi Arabia finishing the job to get rid of the Houthis back in, if I'm not mistaken, in 2018 or prior to that, when Saudis, UAE, and all the Middle East countries were fighting. First, I think under, I don't know if it was Biden or Trump was in presidency, but the Saudis and the UAE and the Gulf Coalition had taken up the mantle in dismantling the Houthi threat, right? And the Biden administration put pressure on Saudi to and the UAE to stop that war, which now we're paying for. So could it be fair to say that it's not just Trump, but the past two U.S. presidents have not done their due diligence in really foreseeing what is now what we're experiencing?
So most of the analysis on that would suggest that President Biden never had a realistic military or political opportunity to use your term, eliminate the Houthis. Completely destroying that group was never an option on the table because they're deeply entrenched. They're 200,000 strong, and they control territory housing 80% of Yemen's population. So without going to war against Yemen, how do you do that? The Republican Party has suggested repeatedly that, and some Democrats have as well, that Biden did a series of strategic calculations and policy shift opportunities to contain the group, and that emboldened them. But to suggest that he had the ability to eliminate the Houthis, most military analysts, not me, but most military analysts would say no.
No, I agree. I mean,
I'll get to you, Glow. We go one at a time here. Go ahead, Sam. You gotta wait to your turn.
So no, I agree with you. It's porous mountains, hard to attack, but there was no outwardly support for the Middle East and Saudi Arabia coalition that was trying to remove the Houthis from power. I don't think the U.S. was involved, nor the European Union. And to be honest with you, and hindsight is 2020, but the Iranians bragged that they have control of 2 choke points of the world and that they got the world in their hands, their balls. They were bragging that they were the superpower who could do all this.
Right.
And we did nothing about it.
So here's the
we
thing.
did nothing about it.
All of these problems, the ones that you are talking about, the terrorist attacks, October the 7th, all of that could have been avoided had this regime not been in power. And I think the president was predisposed to eliminating the regime, but the strategy failed. And now we are where we are today. And along the way, he didn't gain support from the Europeans, which might have helped. And he didn't sell it to the American people, which certainly hurt. That's my analysis anyways, for what it's worth. Thank you, Sid. Glow, followed by William.
I would love to continue after they're done.
Glow.
I wanted to share just some news from Yemen. There's a new armed faction. It's called the Free Yemen Movement, and it has declared an uprising against the Houthis from inside Sana'a. We announced an armed uprising against the Houthi movement from within Sana'a due to the crimes committed by Iran and the Houthis. This uprising comes in response to the Houthi starvation, looting, theft, and killing of Yemenis, as well as their violation of, Yemen's sovereignty and the implementation of Iranian directives. Just that.
Okay, I don't know about this new use of the term Free Yemeni movement. The Free Yemen movement was actually the Free Yemeni movement. It's called Al-Ahrar, is that right? Do I say it right? That's an historical... I don't know anything about this new Free Yemen movement. I'd love to know more. So message me and tell me what you know. William, and I think we'll have time to go back to the sun.
I came up to, basically Amir said that the United States is the leader of the Western world. That's no longer the case. The United States is the wealthiest country in the Western world. The United States has the most powerful military of any single country in the Western world by far. But the United States has, as you were saying, Gary, broken their alliances. They've threatened other NATO members like Canada or the Kingdom of Denmark, threatening Greenland, which is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. The United States has changed from being the lead country within NATO to being the vendor to NATO. So the United States is no longer the leader, and part of that is really the Western world. The alliances are largely held together on economics and an ideological commitment towards democratic governance based on ideas of liberal democracy. And in this administration, there's been an attack upon the economic relationships with our allies, and there's been an attack on the national security, direct national security attacks on NATO allies, and the rest of the world is watching. Everybody sees this. People are paying attention that lead other countries. It's given a lot of uncertainty about our leadership and our commitments with our relationships with the East Asian countries. When we turn on our NATO allies, how does Japan or South Korea or Taiwan look at it? Well, yeah, Trump did get everybody to arm up, and Europe is increasing its military expenditures. Throughout Europe, basically the countries most close to Russia are spending the most, and Japan has changed their constitution, and they are increasing their military expenditures by a lot. South Korea is getting ready for war, and probably not doing it as seriously as they could, but they, all of our Western allies, the democratic allies that we had, are no longer looking to the United States for leadership, and they're beginning to look to each other and forming new relationships, new alliances, and basically trading around us economically to the extent that they can. We're a huge economic powerhouse. We've got the biggest economy of all of them, and they can't avoid us entirely. But they've been switching over to locally produced weapons systems to the extent that they can, rather than simply rely upon the United States. Take a look at the European stocks, and take a look at what's going on in Japan and South Korea. There is a lot of increased investment, and the goal of that increase in investment, by the way we have attacked our alliance structures, is less reliance upon the United States. So maybe Trump thought, I'll beat up on all these countries like a mafia boss, and I'll get them to all kowtow and buy more weapons from the United States, and to some extent, he's been correct. They have. And to a large extent, they have been diversifying away from us, and we have lost the trust of our former allies, and we're no longer the leaders. So I think that's, important to recognize and understand.
Thank you, William. We'll go to Sid, followed by Amir.
Right. So, no, great stuff. Great stuff. So, I think, Greg, you might appreciate my use of this word. America's been going through not a civil war, but a political civil war, right? Where the Democrat and the Republicans are not in the same page regarding where America's future lies, right? So we're suffering from that, right? And the world is seeing that, hey, they're not united. There's such division, and different political groups around the world will buy off a political organization against each other in order to. So like the empire, for all intents and purposes, is dying, right? And that's not a bad thing. America should have never been an empire. America fought off colonialism, built its wealth and its status by not oppressing other countries, but within its own confine. Not unlike the British Empire or the French or the other European empire. So we're not good at this as Americans, right? We're not great at being imperial power and being world leader, and we should have never been involved in that. It's just the haphazard of what happened in World War II with the British and the Germans, so forth and so on. Without going deep into the historical context, I would say that with great power comes responsibility, and we are responsible in how the world is going to be. We have a stake to play. Now, I think it's easy for us to just simply blame Trump, but I think he's reactionary, right? So he's reacting towards what he sees as a threat to what it is American power. And he's pressured the Europeans to take more action, but they said, no, we don't want to put boots on the ground. You got to beg us, you got to do all that. And maybe he lost patience. And maybe he should have been more patient, right? But the thing is, whatever it is, we're entering a multipolar world where power and structure are not only situated in one area of the world. Western power. The Chinese are coming up, the Russians have a role to play, and so forth and so on. And we have to be realistic, and I think Trump is the only realistic man out there right now. Not to say that the way he handled business is correct, and I think he takes decisions off the cuff rather than having a more well thought out policy. But he's dealing with the situation that the world is. We have to forget. We have to get over. The center of power is no longer Washington, D.C. There are many centers of power, and this is going to continue for a very long period of time. And right now, who's hurt the most with the closure of the Strait of Hormuz is either China or Asian countries. Who's going to be hurt the most with the Red Sea Strait, Bab el-Mandeb being closed? Europe and North Africa, right? Where, all the wealth is accumulated, right? So who should be more responsible? It's the people that have a stake. America is a self-contained, insulated part of the world. We don't have a lot to lose here. The rest of the world do. And I think it's going to wake them up and take more responsibility that this type of action by the Iranians and the rebels in Houthi in Yemen, those are not contributing to a betterment of the world. They're not the group of people we want to see have a say in how this earth survives the next hundreds of years. We're not a best example. We do a lot of pollutions. We do a lot of crazy stuff and selfish stuff. I get it, but it's much better than the ideas of those countries. So right now, I think instead of blaming Trump and blaming America, the Europeans and the Asian countries need to wake up and see the path forward in things to contain Iran and get rid of the Houthis. And I think the Houthis are the bigger threat to European wealth. and they should wake up and do something about it rather than complaining that Trump is not the greatest guy. He's done this, he's done that to us. No, now wake up and do what you need to do, which is to secure the Bellman debt, which is a choke point for what 10-20% of the world trade. And also let's also keep in mind that Saudi Arabia's diverted all their oil resources to the Red Sea, and they need to come out through the Bellman Deb to go out there to Asia, right? So not only Bellman Deb is important to Europe, it's also now important to Asia as a choke point. So rather than saying Trump did this, he broke this, let's move on. Let's figure out the way forward. Get rid of the Houthis. Like I said before, the Biden administration put a lot of pressures on the Saudis and forced them to stop their operation. If they had continued to do their operation by now, the Houthis would have been gone. And what else did we do not to support the Saudi coalition or the UAE coalition? So we're paying for the past political mistake of the Democrats, as well as the now mistakes that the Republicans have made under Trump. So it's a sticky situation, but we got to move forward because the world economy right now is under threat, and that affects all of us here and everyone around the world. You know, the blame game is over. What are we gonna do about this? This is my concern, Gray.
Thank you, Sin. I've got some breaking news.
Gary. Sorry, I said Gray.
That's okay. I've got some breaking news that's directly related to today's discussion. The Pentagon now says nearly 100 U.S. troops have been injured in the last 2 weeks of the Iran war. The disclosure follows the New York Times report today that the Defense Department was withholding from the American people casualty figures, a report that the Pentagon attacked is inaccurate. And then suddenly they release these figures. So nearly 100 injured in the last 2 weeks of the Iran war. Amir, followed by Matthew.
Just very quickly with regards to what William said, I tend to agree with a lot of points that he made, but it has to be seen in the context of Trump window in the US. I mean, the US is much, much bigger than Trump, and that's something that often gets confused. I mean, from, for example, the UK perspective, US is still the leader as far as, but I mean, we do the largest trade with the US, and we heavily rely on US on the military side of things with NATO and the rest of it. And I think, to be honest with you, Trump, kicking out of the EU countries is not a bad thing, because it has kind of paid off in terms of, their defense spending and so on, which needed to be done, because it was just a bit ridiculous. I think all US citizens would agree that, if it was only the UK that was really, and France perhaps, that was paying the 2.5% at the time, nobody else was really reaching that point, and they should do. And now they are doing and going beyond, which is a good thing. So those are the two things. And one other point which William made, which I thought was actually, to some extent, was answering his own questions or comment or point, and that was that the fact that it's not just about the trade or the military, it's also about the system of governance, it's about the values, about democracy, liberalism, and multi-party democracy and everything else. And I think in all of those, we are on the same line, and definitely in many of those aspects, US is leading, and I'm talking about US, including the window of the Trump, but well beyond and above that. Thank you.
Thank you, Amir. Matthew, followed by Alyssa.
Hey guys, yeah, man, I don't know. The war is expanding. Try to just go back to the topic of the room, but even if it expands, when I think of the Straits of Hormuz, for me, it's kind of like, imagine China trying to come to the Gulf of Mexico and controlling the Gulf of Mexico, like the ships coming in and out of the Gulf of Mexico or something like that. Like, the Straits of Hormuz, like that is right next to Iran, and it's very thin, and Iran just needs like basically the smaller the better. The smaller the boats that they use to mess things up in the straits, and the more the drones they have, like they don't even need to like blow anything up. They just need to like deny safe passage, right? So I just don't see any solution, except for the U.S. Navy actually like leaving the straits, and then Iran may reopen it, and I think that's actually what's going to happen. I think there's going to be some negotiations in about 2 or 3 weeks. There'll be more bombing. There'll be more negotiations. The U.S. Navy will pull back, and the straits may open again. And then Trump might go back to bombing it, and then the Iranians will close it again by simply creating threats. I just don't see I just don't see any solution to it. It's very easy to attack, very easy to mess around with. It's classic, like, you know what it reminds me of is during like the Revolutionary War, where the British troops would off of their boats and they would like all line up in one line, the American rebels, right? And the American rebels would be picking off redcoats by hiding in the woods or hiding behind trees. That's exactly what's happening in Iran. You know, it's just classic. It's classic. What do you call that? Guerrilla warfare. You know, it's asymmetrical warfare, and the geography allows the IRGC to win this fight. I don't think it's possible at all. Is it expanding? Maybe some troops might get dropped off in a couple places in Iran to look for the nuclear material. But again, you know, I think now there's Iran to build nuclear programs, you know, because they probably see it as a kind of regime survival now. So I think this whole thing is going backwards. It's all going in the wrong direction.
Thank you, Matthew. Alyssa, followed by Dude.
Real quick. So, Iran, I think, well, I know I can see it. Like Trump doesn't want to hurt the non-radical people of Iran. But he started something that is not going to finish easily because they are, you know how their oil was overflowing? They had to get rid of it somehow, and you know who's buying it from, I mean, if people will just turn on the news or just, I don't know, open their Twitter or X, they'll see their one of their allies, China, is helping them, and Russia is supplying them with more stuff, and they never got that dust out, and so they're still creating nukes. So I don't think this is gonna end quickly. And I was just like someone from, I don't know if anyone here is from England, but like if they could explain what is actually happening, because it's kind of gotten to them quicker, because I mean they're over in Europe and other countries in Europe. I don't know facts, but just what I've heard of in England and seen happen. And Yeah, I wish Trump would have listened to all of the many retired generals that kept saying you cannot, which is obvious now, you cannot negotiate with these people. And that's all I wanted to say. Thanks.
Thank you, Alyssa. So you're right, Iran is actively attempting to rebuild and restore its damaged nuclear infrastructure. We don't know the extent of its success. There's a lot of debating about that, but I think there's universal belief that that is exactly what's going on. Dude, you get the last word.
Well, I'll just say that I hope that it doesn't expand, but it does seem to be the likely situation that the world is currently facing. Trade corridors matter. There are probably other trade corridors that are being worked on building. Africa being a continent rich in resources. Russia and China and America are probably looking at different economic and trade agreements that will either dissipate.
You cut yourself off there, dude. You stopped talking mid-sentence. Go ahead, try it again, bud. Apparently he's got a technical issue. Folks, we're here Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock New York time. So till 5 o'clock New York time tomorrow for the next edition of the Critical Thinking Forum. Everybody be safe, be well, and peace out.
shared place with equal access to citizen and non-citizen alike. That is a place.
I will open a room now. I will open a room. If you are a man has balls, no problem. I will open a room.
How's it going? Doing all right, man. Good to see you. Long time. Yes, sir.
Good to see you.
Yeah, but me too. But I've never had a problem, getting a PDF from an author ever, but
It's about society, though. That's not a prediction. I can sit there and say, yeah, in the next 250 years, there's going to be a war between this country and that country, and the chances that I'm right are significantly high, especially with how fucking countries operate. You're making blanket statements about society. You're saying, oh my God, that's the correct.
And he talks about water being one of those things that he brought into existence. We're not disputing that.
What are you saying?
The statement that the Quran is making, right, that God is making in the Quran, that God is revealing to us,
I understand.
right, is that,
What?
right, all living things, all living things in order.
What is it? What's he saying?
These people, I mean, Neanderthals.
And this
What's
is
God
why
saying?
my title, y'all will
Tell me what he's saying.
Neanderthals.
Yeah, right. What's he saying?
This is what they are. Look how they behave. Like Neanderthals.
Okay, tell me what he's saying,
it's
right?
not just
Tell me
the
what God's saying in his book, the Quran. The newer book. What's he saying? Tell me about it again.
It's so easy, even the case.
But all living things are created from water.
That's what he said. All living things are created from water.
Well, Bronco, can you recite the verse directly so that I
You're
don't
saying that evolution is true.
Yeah, I'll pull the verse up.
Okay, so you believe in evolution then?
No.
What do you mean?
Don't speak for my belief. You don't have to speak for my belief. Let me tell you like this. This is a police stop.
That's
Okay.
what evolution
You don't. Let me tell you like this. You do
Yeah, but that's what
not.
evolution
Okay. Well, if
says.
evolution says it, right? Show me that
So you just
prior
agree
to the
with
Quran. Show me that prior to the Quran because that was the argument.
Sure.
That was my statement. Yeah.
Well, no,
Show me any literature prior to the Quran that stated this.
Oh, I would say I already told you Genesis says
No,
it
it
all.
does not state
Water
that.
was
We already
present
went over
first.
that. We're not talking about God creating water. We know God is the creator of all things. That's what Genesis is stating, okay? When water came into
And it-
existence. We're not
and
talking
it
about when water
pre-existed
came
life.
into existence. No, absolutely not. The dependency of water and the creation of the
Yeah, there
human
was
being
no
is
life.
what we're actually
There was
speaking
no life
about.
on Earth. It was a dark void.
That's what we're speaking about. The dependency,
With water.
the
It was a
dependency
dark
of
void.
water. And guess what?
Like
It's,
a child.
other things created
It was the
before
same
water, right? And earth was still earth with life.
Yeah, so it's just the
With
same
life,
thing.
even
It's
in
just different
Genesis, earth was
symbolic
earth
thought.
with life without
Yours
the
is
water.
the newer
So God stated, but look at this, and this is why you all will regret.
Talk with Rocco.
Okay.
Let's listen to something. Look at the sky for a lot. Didn't see any birds land up there. And about flies that are eating my wound. Like I feel something that'd be painful, and I feel like, dude, there's like a fly on there, and I look, and it'd be like, yeah, it'd be like two of them even.
I seek refuge with Allah from Shaitania curse. Did the unbelievers not realize that the heaven and the earth used to be one solid mass, that we exploded into existence, and from water we made all living things?
Into existence.
Would they believe?
I don't know who says we exploded into existence. I don't even think so. Hey Ray, you're hot blanket. That's to be expected. So you guys are just arguing for evolution then when you say that.
No, we're not arguing on behalf of evolution.
Why not?
We're arguing on behalf that there's
How else
no
does God
God
do it?
but
How else
God.
does God do it?
What?
How else does God do it?
How else does God do it?
Do the life that we see on the planet.
You said how by repeating it,
He doesn't use evolution.
by repetition.
He doesn't use evolution.
by repetition.
Yeah, that's part of
Because
evolution.
you shouldn't believe in evolution because you
Evolution
said that they were
requires
able. Hold on,
tons of
it wouldn't be
repetition.
evolution. It wouldn't be evolution, right? By your own admission, right?
What would it be?
You said that it would be evolution by your own admission. It was either you or Mark.
No, I
I
was
don't
just
know
trying to
which one was talking, but right, it wouldn't be considered evolution when you agree to the notion that there was literature written and there was people able to discover certain things back then, right? That wouldn't be evolution, would it? If today, right,
Yeah.
how would humanity
Yeah,
evolve if the same things back in the day they have discovered, they're discovering today? That wouldn't be evolution.
Yeah, I don't know what you're referring to. Can you give me an example?
You said it. You literally said, what were we talking about? We were talking about, what point did I bring?
I don't know. I don't know what
Okay.
you hear. Cause
No. That was his point, evolution.
You talk
Okay.
a lot.
So basically, let's turn your phone down. We have options. Remember, God don't remove our choice. But anyway,
That's okay.
he was talking about, he mentioned evolution, right? And he said we believe in evolution. I said, well, by his own admission, right? Because earlier he brought up when we mentioned the water thing, right? When we mentioned the verses in the Quran, the sign of the water, right?
Sounds like Genesis,
He brought up, he said, oh, well, this was written in Genesis or whatever, right? And I'm saying absolutely not. This wasn't written in Genesis, right? This is something that later the devil proved evolution, rather than him saying, oh, what they did then is what they're doing today. That wouldn't be evolution because they're not evolving. Nothing evolved. It's the same shit from the past into the future.
What are you talking about?
Sure, you can act now.
You don't take a lot of meds during the day, do you? You usually just take them for
No, I'm not you. Exactly. If there's evolution, why are things staying the same? By your admission, things are the same based upon you saying, oh yeah, we're talking about a new phenomenon. You're talking about something of the past. You're talking about something of the past. Yes. That you're saying, oh yeah, they had that information back then. That wouldn't be evolution.
Who had
You're so smart, you're stupid.
What information?
Say that again.
I just don't know what you're fighting about. Like, what are you fighting against?
I don't know what you're fighting. You said that.
All I said is you're arguing for evolution. That's all I said.
No, you're arguing on behalf of evolution.
Yeah, I am.
We agree with you about evolution. We said we agree with you. Sure, it doesn't work at all. We're not arguing on behalf of evolution. We're not arguing on behalf of evolution.
Are you sad?
Sure. Does the world evolve? Absolutely. Are you sad that there's a God and that your homosexual ass or pedophile ass will be held to account or whatever you're doing? Only people who don't believe in God, respectfully, are the worst amongst society. You do some of the most detestable things.
Just factually incorrect.
The detestable things.
Yeah, you want me to show you the data?
The detestable things. Well, let's show the data about how more white Americans are atheists. Let's show the data on that.
Did you know that it's mostly white Christian men that are
It's more.
Did you know that factually?
Well, there's our reporting, right? Because people don't go around saying, yeah, I'm an atheist. If people don't go around saying, yeah, I'm an atheist,
send me the studies you're
what they believe in when they fucking rape somebody or when they fucking look at child porn. They don't go around saying, I'm an atheist, this is why I looked at it. So of course it's going to be reported more. I'm no fool, you dummy. Of course it's going to be reported more as far as churches and all of this stuff because they allegedly supposed to be Christian.
You gotta keep them
whatever.
Longer. It's okay.
Nobody is going to be like, I'm an atheist because I raped somebody. It's going to be
Keep the mask on longer than that. You don't have to drop it so fast.
Stop.
Hi, Ray. I'm happy to be here in the name of God. I joined the house. Thanks for having me, Ray.
No problem, huh?
Yeah, so it still sounds like, based on your reasoning, you would be arguing, in fact, for evolution, based on your reasoning. That's okay.
Hi, Ray. I've heard Honey Badger in other rooms, and he doesn't really say anything intelligent. He kind of just, does this put-down game, but doesn't actually say anything. He doesn't say any facts or any opinions. He kind of just, comes into rooms and just doesn't really say anything. So I want to thank you for leading the room. All praise God. Death to the atheists. They are low IQ. They are lonely, bored people, and I feel bad for them that they don't like to read books and they just come onto a conference call app to make their self-esteem, feel better. That's my observation.
Thank you, Progressive. I appreciate your input. I'm gonna chew on that and see if I can become better.
We gotta hear that ding and that triangle in the background.
I don't know, what would you call them? Philosophers, maybe? Or what do you consider Alan Watts? Ray, isn't that true? You love Alan Watts?
Anybody who really is motivated, they take time, they really care about what knowledge is, how to obtain it, how to get more of it, how to think about it critically. Anybody who does that would be, by definition, a philosopher. It's just the dedication and the love for wisdom.
I love wisdom, and I read books. Many people in this room probably do not. But I was just reading about German ideology, Marx and Engels, and collectivists and socialists, and the horror and the terror of war. And it kind of strikes me that many of those people who were fighting to the death in Stalingrad, just 1 million people died. I'm sure there were atheists, and I'm sure that there were, theists fighting to the death, and they thought that what they were doing was moral and ethical, and maybe it would solve all the problems for all of mankind, and they'd say, "We did it. I sacrificed my life to solve this riddle that so many people seem to struggle with, whatever that riddle might be." But when it comes to violence, I try to avoid it as much as possible, because if you're around violence, you could die. And so I prefer the comfort of my house full of books and conference calls where people can't punch me in the nose. But it just strikes me as amazing that people waste so much time having irreverent conversations over and over again, repeating themselves endlessly, as if it's like a video game that they just love, or one of their favorite movies like Terminator 2 or Back to the Future. And it just amazes me as I observe human behavior, how bored and lonely and, not creative people are. Pretty lame. I don't know what they're afraid of or what they're hiding. But maybe you're right, Ray. Maybe these faggot atheists are just pedophile loser faggots. It's just my opinion.
It's theatrical, yeah. I don't know. Maybe these non-believers, they just do so many weird things, and I'm not weird at all myself. Maybe I go out there and I look at everybody and I observe everybody, and I'm not the fucking weirdo myself. Not one bit. Not me.
It was good though. I liked the message, and I thought it was even good comedic timing, the way he dropped that gotcha at the end as a punchline. I thought it was pretty good. I'd give it an 8, like a 7.9. 7.9. That was good, because I did agree with the message. I thought it was pretty poignant, and I agreed with it, most of it. That was cool. So thanks, Progressive.
John Kitover.
John. Oh, okay.
John Kitover. Get it right.
Because Ray was like seeming like I understand she's got a lot on her plate, and I don't blame or fault her, but she was seeming a little bit elevated with me and you earlier. So it was just nice and refreshing,
John Kitover. Sorry.
Yeah, well, whatever your name is, progressive, liberal, thank you so much for everything. Appreciate it. I guess that's why progressive liberals exist, is to bring poetry, meaning, an open door, carrying hands, So thanks. Really appreciate that, progressive.
You're welcome. Ray, I'd like to read a poem to these atheist faggot pedophiles who are extremely bored and lonely and who are uncreative. They don't create anything. They just come on here to guys like me to the goo or kick me from the rooms to make their self-esteem feel better. Like Honey, he'll say, "Oh yeah, John Kitover, he comes up here, I love it, he says a poem," and then he just like leaves and goes back down to the goo. But that's because Honey is actually a very effeminate man who doesn't have resilience or can't, even have a conversation with somebody, even if it's an irreverent conversation, because the truth is Honey is a very fragile person. He's very weak. He has no real strength and no real joy. And as a progressive liberal, I feel it's incumbent upon me to help these young men that the system failed, to make them stronger, to give them the joy and the wisdom that they are lacking as faggot pedophiles, losers and abusers and lonely people, and non-creative people. I feel it's my calling in life to help these faggot retards.
I do appreciate your input, and I've been writing a lot of this down, so I'm gonna review this later tonight after I get back from church, and I'll be just kind of taking what you've shared with us to improve my vision. Thank you.
And not one person will think that you are a lunatic and a fucking weirdo yourself, progressive. Not one person is going to think that. You're not fucking weird. You're not some fucking bizarro crazy motherfucker online. Nope. Not you.
And I do wish you well. I hope your stand-up paddleboarding exploits are a service to you and others in your community. I know you have been running for Congress for quite a while now, and I hope you get in. I hope you made it. Wouldn't you agree, Ray?
Would I agree with what?
That basically when you say that, like if someone says, hey, everything that's involved with life had to have water beforehand, and it came from water, that would be in line with evolution theory, correct?
Don't try to, I'm not going to let you escape the dumb statement you made. So,
well, hold on,
you're trying to
you don't want to answer that
comfort
question.
yourself. Yeah, you're trying to comfort yourself right now.
Well, you don't want to answer that
But
question.
you know it's dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
Honey, if the human body is 98% water and you weigh 185 pounds, what's the molecular weight of the H2O contained within the cells and the skin of your body?
Like 140 pounds. 160 pounds.
I'm just making a little joke here. Ray, I just want to thank you in the name of God for having this room. You attract the flies just like horse flies to manure or squirrel poop or honey badger poop. You are like the candle that brings these mutant moths to the barnyard or to the church or the library, or what you might say, library. And I just want to read a little poem to all the lonely, non-creative, faggot retards. It's called The Devil, and I hope that this helps illuminate you and teaches you a little wisdom about how retarded, how much of a faggot you are. To this key of grotesque and terrible aspect is attributed mirth. The devil is that horrible character of exoteric dogmatism which is so ridiculous to an enlightened person like Progressive Liberal here on Clubhouse. But deeper than this, the figure represents the delusion of outward appearance. Key 15 is the opposite of Key 6. Hence it shows what happens to us when we fail to use our faculty of discrimination. The ancients declared that the devil is God inverted. This refers...
They thought that we were food by their skin. I heard it when Mark said what he said earlier, like a little bit, like maybe 3 minutes ago. I heard you know what he gonna say. I wasn't listening, man. I started listening, so when I got on, I heard Mark with him. I'm like, what is this? Like, you can tell.
Hello?
They think we see right through you.
You see right through me? What do you see if I'm transparent? Hello?
You are. You see through, bruh. Yeah. See through like a predator.
Hello?
So good as they look.
Well, since you don't like my poetry, maybe I could play you a little song on my Chinese flute as you look through me.
By the way, Progressive is a believer.
Interact with the stupidest fucking people.
What's your degree in?
I mean, technically I have a bunch, but I have political science.
Technically, you have a bunch of degrees. I've never heard anybody say that before.
Yeah, I have a political science, I have a journalism, and I have a generalized theology degree.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, I use my theology degree, and I used to use my political science degree.
What career do you have?
I teach intro classes.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's horrible. College.
Which university or college you teach at?
I don't feel comfortable sharing that information.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Hi, this is Progressive Liberal. I'd like to say something about the title of the room, if I may, moderators.
Aggressive. Of course. Go on.
Oh my god, is this fucking John?
Yes.
Hi, moderators. Thanks for having me on your stage. With regards to Muslims being saved, I just want to say that to a Christian, it's not really that important to save a Muslim per
I
se.
handled it like a champ. I just thanked him a lot, and I was very cool.
What do you do? Did you just sit there?
It was pretty funny. I mean, he actually, I was giving him most of the applause because it was pretty funny.
Yes.
Talking to somebody else who was a believer of, you're the Muslim, walk up and pray.
told, the truth be told. I worry what the future holds.
So I just come out of there, and then I come in here, it's Baghdadi food.
Well, since you don't want to hear my opinion about the room title,
Come to the conclusion that you have the evidence to justify the claim that God does exist and that you know He exists.
Yes, I have the evidence.
I'd love to hear it.
The evidence is us here now. That's it.
Oh my god.
Look at the trees.
Yeah, it's evidence of Brahma,
Look at the
right?
clouds. Look at the moon.
That's
For
horrible.
Baghdadi, it's evidence of
A
Brahma.
lot of evidence.
Hey, is it evidence of Brahma?
What a
I love that JCC made it a song. Look at the trees, look at the birds.
Look at my dirty knees, I fall down when I climb these trees. I get mesmerized when I look in the sky at the birds that fly by. I get dizzy in a haze from climbing these trees. Trees, like this
Atheists and
Oh, here we go. Now he's told
The
proof
funny
his
thing
position. He's going to go into attack mode. Okay, come on.
yeah, the funny thing that we both have in common, we both agree that the magic happened.
No magic.
Zero magic. It happened without a magician.
No magic.
Yeah. We just believe it was
Nobody believes in magic.
We both believe the magic happened.
Dilute
There is
the
no
term even more.
magic.
Not magic. Dilute Baghdadi food even more with them. Go on their little ride with them and dilute
Reality.
Brother said Houdini was a great magician, guys. He wasn't in fact real. He did in fact.
He
He's gonna pivot to evolution. He's gonna pivot to evolution. I totally know what's going on.
One of Houdini's acts that he tried to trick people with, he died from, so he wasn't the greatest.
We call that karma's a bitch.
I want to talk to Baghdadi about the fact that we exist as mammals. Would you say we're animals, Baghdadi?
I would say we're whatever we are.
Are we animals?
We're whatever we are.
Are we animals?
I wouldn't say animals, but I would say not.
You wouldn't say no, right? You wouldn't say that we're not animals.
I would say whatever we are. It's just how you want to look at it.
Definitely give her the option. Money, power.
Hey, let's see what's going on, Viv. What'd you say, Viv? What's going on?
I've been just here for a few more days and then headed back.
Oh, okay. You're still in the States then.
Yeah. How do you feel about ranch dressing? I don't really fuck with it. Have you tried this bullshit calories? Ranch dressing is garbage, by the way. So apparently there's a thing.
allow myself to introduce myself.
Oh shit! This is not who you think it is.
Hand raising.
This is not who you think it is. This is our next president in chief.
I just came to participate in a happy hour.
And then go in the hour sad.
I brought my Chinese flute.
I definitely feel like when he went to high school, there were some unresolved sexual assault charges.
Projection mirror says what? The projection detection system has been activated.
Okay. So Viv. Ranch dressing. Did you try it?
See, See, Viv, in America, ranch dressing is best used on a chopped salad or to dip your pizza in.
I have dipped my crust in ranch dressing. I have done
Do you think that Steve's good? And Viv, how about you?
Have we really nothing else to talk about?
Let's talk about this. Toilet paper. Roll side, paper up or down?
Otherwise, you're an animal.
Interesting. You have an opinion. I've never actually done it with intent.
Let's do a quick toilet paper survey. Who here uses a baby wipe after they drop a deuce at 8 a.m. and throw that baby wipe in a separate garbage?
You do.
Get the flush.
Yeah, that's actually it's so random. That's funny as shit.
It's all really not right. But they're not actually flushable. People totally clog the fuck out of the pipes.
It hasn't happened yet, so.
Well, did you live in a building?
Nope.
Really? So they will. And they are. You just didn't notice it.
I
They
do.
don't break down the same way paper does.
Yes, but I don't use them every day, so it allows time for them to flow through.
I feel like a bidet is a much better choice than a wipe.
I can tell that.
You have a water on your ass, like wherever the hell you're spraying it. That doesn't you gotta get used to that. No?
No, what do you mean? Have you ever taken a shower? Not used to water on your body? What does that
Hi,
mean?
everybody. Welcome back to Happy Hour, where Clown House users are confirming that they have shit on their ass right at this moment.
What's up, Janelle?
What do you mean, Albert? Seriously, why would you?
You first used it, Austin. It wasn't like a little shocking.
No, it was like, nice, comfortable spray. And moving. Oh, that's nice. And then there's a little dryer, and it dries it, the spray's warm, and
Oh, you have a dryer too.
yeah, it's got a little hair dryer and stuff, and
Interesting.
yeah, it's got a whole, that's the whole thing. It's self-warming.
Oh, it's a fancy one. Janelle, do you have a bidet?
But Dave, the guy doesn't even have a bathtub. He's got a walk-in shower.
Hey, to be honest, if I get the parasite, I'll be very happy to have that bidet.
Everybody's talking about this explosive diarrhea salad parasite, and they just came out and said it was all fake news. It was alleged. It was presumptuous of the CDC to diagnose America with explosive diarrhea.
What was fake news? That they exist because it's existed for a long time.
It's a pandemic, I guess.
Robert
I don't think
Kennedy,
anybody called it a pandemic.
at the CDC conference call, Kennedy was like, "We got a problem with explosive diarrhea. The salad's all infected with E. coli. Everybody's getting explosive diarrhea."
Listen, do you have a girlfriend, John?
Projection mirror says what?
Do you have a girlfriend? I think you have a girlfriend.
If I had a girlfriend, would I be in a conference call called Happy Hour instead of having her sit on my face right now?
That's a great question, by the way.
You have a wife, not a girlfriend.
Can you answer that, Austin?
Austin, I've been divorced 140 times. I'm currently single. Are you a matchmaker?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for a matchmaker that specializes in neurodivergent faggot retards. Who goes by Austin Powers in 2026? He's been proven to be a faggot retard.
I'm not matching with you. But, so look, you're just requested to be matched with faggot retards. What's the most faggoty retarded thing about you?
Oh God, there's so much. I don't even know where to start. Maybe the
Just start at the beginning.
Well, I'm
not
bald.
that beginning, the other
I'm bald, so you know a lot of people like to say catfish, but now they're calling it bald fish. Yeah, the top. I'm starting at the top. I'm bald.
I mean, not about your
I'm
appearance,
beautiful.
the spirit. But what makes you the most faggoty retard?
Oh, my faggot retard spirit. Well, listen, I like to call it a HAP or an EAP, which are an acronym for a highly annoying person or an extremely annoying person. And I think if you observe my behavior and cross-compare it with the behavior of other people on this app, you will find out that I am actually not a highly annoying person. That could be you. You could be that extremely annoying person, but not
That's
me.
fair, but-
Hello? David, welcome to the room!
John, and as you were pointing out there, but that's just a relative comparison. So, of course, when you're doing it like that, you're gonna find that. So, let's go back to what you want to find in your future 141st ex-wife.
Wait, you've been divorced before, Chicago?
Yeah, according to Maimonides, my favorite Jewish rabbi, I'm a divorcee 140 times over because every woman you've ever slept with is technically your cosmic wife.
Really? No, your hand doesn't count. That's fucked up, by the way.
Yeah.
It's an interesting point, though.
Well, cosmically speaking, there's really no way to have an experience with. It's not important how old I am, Dr. Powers.
I guess 35, right?
No.
Let's say you lost through.
Nah, he's definitely older than that.
Nah, he's mid-40s.
Yeah.
Or low 50s.
40.
I'm 43, and if you want to see my social security card, it's tattooed on my arm if you want to see it.
43 minus 18. All right, so that's 25, right? And then,
Division.
yeah, so...
David, welcome to Happy Hour. What are you drinking, Dr. David?
So,
Chicago, have you been to... I'm going to Paris
never been
next
to a
week.
long-term
Do you have any recommendations in Paris?
Oh, go to the Bourgeois cafe and then go to the Proletariat nightclub.
Can you send me the link?
John, have you ever been in a long-term relationship?
Austin, I've been engaged, and yes, I've been in long-term love affairs, Austin. What's your point, Doctor?
I'm just trying to figure out your numbers here, because, it looks like you were getting married and divorced every 2 months since you were 18.
Well, what's
So you're
important...
denying that he has 140? Is that what you're saying?
No. He says he has 140 ex-wives. That would require him every 2 months to get married and divorced.
That's also your IQ score. Wow.
David, when are we going to the hockey game, buddy?
With all due respect, I probably wouldn't invite you.
Well, thank you very little.
John, I'm going to challenge you to do something kind for a stranger today.
Really? Well, I've already done that actually. I got one of well, I won't go into too many details, but I did an act of charity this morning.
You didn't talk to someone else on the elevator?
No, I was a gentleman and I helped someone in a bind.
Okay, so Chicago, if you don't have any Paris recommendations, I'll be in London as well. Do you have any recommendations in London?
Oh yeah, go to the Playboy Club and see my ex-wife. Her name is Rose
in Mayfair. I've been to that. I've been there.
She's a key girl. She's an absolute perfect 10. Her name is Rose Marhata.
She's a London 10 though.
After I stood...
Yeah, so I've been with more than a few girls from London, but none of them were British. They were all...
London Bridge is falling down.
Yeah. No offense to anybody in the room who's British, but, these British girls, not so much.
Wow.
What do you mean? So a London 10 is like a New York 5.
No.
Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean, Dave?
Yeah, like London 10 is like a New York City 5.
David,
So you're from New York, right?
In New York City 5? That's giving whatever.
David, when was the last time you had sex and you didn't have to pay for it?
I don't have to answer that question.
When has anyone ever had it not paid for it? Ever? That's actually a good question, too. FYI.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm wondering how David views
The better
love.
question is, when have you had it and not regretted it? That's actually a good question, too.
That's a good
Sort of.
question.
Yeah.
I've heard if you want to fuck her in the ass, that's how you know you love her.
Wow. Nah, man, I'm not about,
That's not one of those good questions?
No, that's not a great question.
What if you want to fuck her in the ass and you realize that in this scenario, you are the ass?
Yeah, man, once you go there, it's all over. Like, it's downhill, in my opinion. But go ahead.
No, I agree. But I've seen some porno videos that made me rethink some of my past former sexual experiences, and I thought to myself, you know what? I would like to have tried that position with that person.
Wait, so Albert, do you have any recommendations for me? Chicago, with a little bit of surgery, you could get that, confident voice you're going for.
I've already shaved down my vocal cords.
When I'm in Paris or London, do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, enjoy it. It's great. They're both great cities. But don't go.
Yeah, I know. I've been there.
David, here's my recommendation for you. Update your Hinge settings to Paris, then London, and so have your...
I don't use Hinge.
Well, this is what you need to do. This is the recommendation. Because once you download Hinge and you do your photo verify and then you update your geolocation to Paris and London and you start swiping right, well, now you've built up a little social network, kind of like a conference call app for loser faggot retards that waste all their time and are bored and lonely and don't create anything called Clown House. Something you're very familiar with. Hello?
See, that was just straight up mean, man. Why are you being mean?
Yeah, that's not nice. That's not nice.
Because when people come to me for advice, I give them good advice. But if they don't take my advice, well, then they just confirm my diagnosis of faggot retard. Hello?
Nice, man. Were you dropped as a child? Like, did your mommy not love you?
Sergio, I actually have a recommendation, David, but I'll give it to you in private.
Yeah.
The Scout. Always better than a Playboy cup.
Man, I don't know. I mean, there's no need. Like, do you not like him? And then it means it's okay. But to be mean, just to be an asshole, that's not cool.
Oh, well, David was asking for some unfiltered advice. I thought I'd share some good ideas with him, but he's a lazy
What's up, Austin?
faggot retard.
Tried to lie, but you did not accept. Oh, I'm sorry. Do it again.
David's the kind of guy who's so lazy he doesn't even have a Hinge account. And then when I look at my friends' Hinge accounts, they are so lazy they don't even message the girls that they've matched with. I say just copy and paste a response. You're not even talking to people. God, you're fucking lazy. So welcome back to Happy Hour.
Oh, and now he's gone?
Oh, they'll be back. They just wanted to share some gay little locations about where they can have
He's
their
gay, obviously, right?
best little gay sex.
He's gay?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I've never met him. I have no idea. Doesn't matter. Like, whatever.
Yeah, he can orgasm in Paris however he chooses to orgasm. I'm not interested in his orgasm news.
Why are you so interested in calling him a piece of shit? That's what's weird to me.
I didn't call him a piece of shit.
You kind of did, man.
But I didn't say he's a piece of shit, did I? No, that did not. That's your interpretation. That's your assumption.
That's my direct way of listening to you talk to other people. It's very simple. That's how I do it.
Oh, that's your observation of my behavior.
It seemed like you don't like him. Like you were being an asshole to him.
Well, what did I say? What did I say that was so insulting to David Bobadilla?
I don't know what you said to him. You call him a fag and whatever, right?
Oh, well, faggot retard is a term of endearment nowadays.
Okay, wonderful.
Haven't you ever been to a happy hour before, faggot? Oh, I'm sorry. I got my happy hour events mixed up. I thought this was the LGBTQAI plus happy hour. My bad, boys.
That's actually pretty funny. Go ahead. Keep going. I don't know why you're being an asshole.
So I'm just saying that, like, if you've never looked up LGBTQIA plus and you don't know what the plus is, it means twin flame. It comes from a 1990s indigenous tribe that had rotating work assignments for both males and females. It's called twin love. Plus inclusive.
I mean, you definitely have a creative mind, bro, which is good. I hope you're using it. Like, it's fun to listen, sort of. I hope it's productive.
Oh, it's super productive. It's more productive than David Bobadilla. Oh, by the way, I'm going to Moscow. I'm going to Moscow on Friday. Have any recommendations for me?
Left on your ass, bro. I don't know why they left, but it's cool. I would rather you not just badger people, but go ahead.
This is a happy hour, Albert. You know, people are here to take some shots, relax a little. They ran off to their little private. They'll be back. They got nothing better to do. Why do you think they were here? They got nothing to do.
No, maybe they want to have some fun and talk about, interesting shit, man, not be berated or bullshitted. That's not, like, I don't know if that's in your vernacular.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
So you got all of these degrees on your wall, and now you slow all of a sudden during the conference. One can tell the truth.
I answered your question. I said yes.
You don't want to tell the truth, so just...
I don't have a problem with the truth.
Right.
I
don't want to tell the truth, so just be quietly.
I don't have a problem with the truth. I just felt...
Because you're saying, oh, when this morning? No, yesterday.
Well, yes, absolutely.
Welcome to the podcast. We have Mayor candidate John Kitover on the show. Hey everyone, welcome John Kitover.
Hello?
Hey, welcome John.
Hey, this is mayoral candidate John Kitover. Hey Max, how are you doing, sir? How's the campaign coming along?
The TV show is great. John, you did something that's very unorthodox, but also there's some throwbacks. There's a lot of former Governor Mike Huckabee would play the saxophone. Bill Clinton famously would join up on stage too with saxophone and guitar. Can you tell the audience on your decision to start the John Kitover band in the middle of your mayor's race?
That's right. Every time I go out on a Friday or Saturday night and I film a band, I automatically label them the John Kitover Band on YouTube.
Brilliant. So kind of like a Wu-Tang Clan situation where there's different iterations, different clans. Every Thursday and Friday. That's really cool. How is the race, John? How are you feeling? What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Are you more of a vanilla guy?
I've always liked Rocky Road. I love the marshmallow,
I was going to say, Rocky Road.
Fudge, the walnut. I mean, who doesn't like a good Rocky Road?
To keep things light, what are your thoughts on Israel versus Palestine? What are you thinking?
Well, Rabono Shalom, I heard they have a New York City subway down there below the Gaza Strip. And they're still shifting munitions and fighting. Why can't we just have peace in the world? Rabono Shalom. Shawarma for everybody.
Hello, buckets. They sell like Gaza chicken strips. I think that's very clever as a dish. Nice. But I was calling you. There's what's it called? Tishbov.
Tishbov.
Are you on the white party at Montana Mod?
Rabboni Shalom, I want to meet a hot brunette Jewish chick named Tish.
It's a singles party.
Tish with a tush.
Actually, it's the date that I got married. And should have got married on, which that was the big mistake, because we got married on the holiday portion. But the after portion is supposed to be very romantic. You know, we're supposed to meet someone. But no, yeah. Aaron Del Mar in the news.
Yeah, for what?
We'll find out.
What, the lawsuit?
Lawsuits. It's the David Pritchard suing him too.
For what?
For you saw the video of the one guy getting arrested.
Yeah.
I think they have a credible. There's probably a credible argument. They probably know more than I do. That like Aaron probably leaned on his Palatine connections to make that happen. Because they're suing the city of Palatine, Aaron, and the guy that called him in. Because there might have been enough to charge it. I don't know, but they charged him with assault. That's crazy. He got found not guilty, by the way. And I was at the trial, and I wouldn't invite you to live stream, but you'd go to jail if you live streamed it. But that judge looked like he wanted to kill himself the entire time. He's like, this is so embarrassing. He told both sides to shut up. You're hurting your case. Stop talking. And when I look at the judge, his name is Nowitzki. He's one of those judges that they got demoted for. He basically would let off two people that ended up murdering. He was like domestic court judge. And two people he puts slaps on their wrists on, during domestic violence trials. They end up murdering their spouses or significant others. And so they demoted him. And so he was on freaking Dave Pritchard Palatine GOP trial. Kill me. The entire time. Hands on the face. Smirking, angry contempt. Yelling at all the lawyers. So it's pretty interesting. But basically I talked to the Dave Pritchard side lawyer and he texted me straight up. They're suing Aaron. And are we on the podcast?
Yeah, you're live on the clown. You're live on the clown show in the clown world.
I want to break some news. And some news that we're getting, that this lawsuit is actually funded by Brian Castle. Because he's upset that Aaron, removed his son from the committee in person.
Welcome to Clown World!
But really, all politics, they say all politics is local. That's not true. All politics is petty.
Welcome to Clown World!
Tell them what you want. What's the word of the day? Word of the day.
Oh man, that's exciting news.
Live, man. Very exciting news. And I got to write some articles. Do my thing. I got my new startup company. I'm very excited about. And life's good.
What are our Polymarket? What's our Polymarket investment fund doing this for the rest of the year? I think we're gonna make some bets on Polymarket.
No, I'm sitting in Couchy, and I've just been earning the 4%. I haven't made a bet in a couple months. I made a bunch of March Madness bets, and I think I I basically bet on a bunch of different teams, and I think I came out on top by 10%. Let's say I put in 500, I made 550, and I'm we're gonna. So my biggest bet I made was off Bob Giretti. I made $250, $300 off him. I fucked up without telling you that. And so basically, Bob Giretti was trading at 75 cents, but he had Andy Williams was his only opponent, and he was running as a write-in.
Oh my god!
So that was pretty. That was that's the thing with Polymarket and Kalshi is the key is look for the micro markets, markets that have less than $10,000, $15,000 in it, and then try to find the Bob Giretti stuff that just is that doesn't make sense because it's so small. And the difference between Kalshi and Polymarket is you're more likely to see that on Kalshi, because Polymarket is basically you have to put up the money to make the market, versus Kalshi puts up their own money to make the markets. So basically the community is hey, I want to put a market for mayor's race, whatever, and then Kalshi has to give the green light. Versus Polymarket, I'm pretty sure you on your own, you can say, will John Kitover be mayor? And then, but that that could be interesting too, is because I think the opportunity for you to make money is maybe you can kind of create be a market maker. That's my name on Kalshi. I'm a market maker. Do you know what Harpo? That was my favorite from the Marx Brothers, dude. I'm a huge Harpo fan.
I was just reading.
Pretty lady. Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry Lewis. Oh my God, he ended up being a total jerk. Did you see? I saw a video of his daughter.
All the charity people were probably weirdos, like him and Bob Hope and.
Yeah,
I'm sure he was a weirdo.
I heard Bob Hope.
And his movies don't like. He basically was the Adam Sandler of his time, but like his movies don't. They don't like stand the test of time. Like I could watch Duck Soup tomorrow or Animal Crackers, and like laugh my ass off. Watch Marx Brothers tonight, you'll laugh.
Yeah, I've got DVDs on Marx Brothers, but you know who they say? You know that movie Eyes Wide Shut by Kubrick?
Yeah, great movie.
They say that.
It's okay movie.
They say that the guy who was throwing the like elite sex parties, that's supposed to be Bob Hope.
Yeah, they say that. Yeah, they say Bob Hope was a bad man with all the USO stuff and going overseas. Like, cause think about how much more shit you can do in the war zones.
I don't know about that. I'm just saying that, like, if there is some kind of like elite cult or.
Yeah, in the Kosovo, like when they basically there was the allegation that basically elite people were paying. There was that war going on, that conflict in Yugoslavia, whatever. And like rich people were paying money to just snipe people. Do you hear about that?
Yeah, I've heard about that. Did you know it took 750,000 Soviets that died in battle to kill 250,000 Germans in Stalingrad?
I'm not surprised.
So 1 million people died in bloody glory for.
Yeah, they wanted them to die because they.
For what?
So the commies just don't care about human life. And they were literally giving them more. You get a rifle, you get some ammunition. It was complete bullshit. And no, because they really think that like the central planning, whatever, the central committee, like the GOP, like should have all the power and like should plan everything. And it's hard to plan everything because you have so many people. So that's why all the commies always go a depopulation route, or like the education camp route. Because like it's much easier to plan. If you have slaves.
I mean it's true. You wipe out your future political enemies in the mass casualty battle. But anyways, I was going through a book today. But so the campaign to elect John Kitover, I'm gonna update the antidote. And
when can you do you make it official? Because then I think you should start like texting Shia and really get some press.
It's official when I start putting up videos of me collecting signatures,
Yeah, when are you gonna like make your file?
There's no file, as you said. I just submit my petitions. That's it.
If you're never gonna submit well, I guess you are. You're gonna submit like 3 petition sheets.
Yeah.
But then you're only gonna be a candidate for a month. I think you should try to.
No, I'll submit. I'm gonna submit. Like I'm gonna get a couple petition sheets and go downtown and just submit. That's it.
Smart. And I'll be write-in after you get kicked off.
Absolutely.
I want to be write-in for as many things as possible, as I said. And then there's a chance I might run for alderman. Because I still like alderman. I don't know. Maybe it's such a waste of time.
I'm going to do a lot of publicity. I'm going to shoot a lot of videos at the Thomas Jefferson Copper Memorial, Bronze Memorial. And I'm going to have my petition sheets there. I'm going to say, if you live in Chicago and you are a patriot, come to Jefferson Park today to meet candidate John and sign the petition to liberate Chicago on the Constitution held by Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, and I think you should be the leader of like a movement. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's got to be a movement. It's basically
gotta be a movement.
Starting like a political cult.
That I can walk. Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, look at Marx and Engels. Marx and Engels kept saying that it's not the bourgeois that's going to lead the revolution; it's the proletariat.
Proletariat. If there's any hope, is with the proles.
So I gotta connect. That's why I've decided to go full on LGBTQ, AI plus, because I realize that I need as many votes as possible. So I'm going to embrace what I consider to be illegal and unethical and immoral behavior, which is same-sex orgasm or attempting to have same-sex orgasm.
Jews should run for office. That's why I say Jews should run for office. Because it forces you to sell out to win, kind of. But I support it. You know.
Because
You know, do you, man?
you see, there's so many fat, ugly faggots in the LGBTQAI plus movement that they can't even achieve orgasm. So they're not actually gay because they can't successfully.
It's not a community, dude. It's like you know, like there is no community based on actions. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean they got Pride Month? That's
like,
the month of action.
I'm in the push-up community. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, am I in the push-up community now? Because I do push-ups?
Well, if you go to a gym,
it's ridiculous, man.
You know, I realized today I was at the gym and I was like, I would rather invest more time trying to meet people or hot chicks that come to this gym than socialize on Clown House with a bunch of losers who repeat themselves all day, every day, and do the same stupid shtick.
Smart. 100%. Your mind's in the right place.
Yeah. Because I'm like, wait a minute, I have a community here at the gym, and I'm not even meeting all the hot chicks that I see like every day. Why don't I introduce myself?
And a lot of them have similar interests. There was a girl that was very good looking in my gym, but I was engaged in time, so I wasn't entertaining anything. But like, it turns out she was like wearing Trump stuff out of nowhere. Like, you never know.
Yeah, I saw a hot chick at the gym with a black Trump MAGA hat. Like, couldn't tell it was a MAGA hat unless you looked really carefully.
I feel like the gyms are like a lean way right. And there's like a few like random Kaepernick types, or like a dude like wear a Kaepernick shirt, or like there's this lesbian at my gym that will be like who's eating all the pussy? Who ate all the pussy? Like, she'll wear that shirt to the gym. I'm like, okay, it's a little bit vulgar. But the point being is I do think gyms are like 70% conservative values. What you say? 60 even in Chicago.
There's a lot of liberals at the gym, but
a lot of Republicans in my gym. There's
a lot of Latinos at my gym. I hear a lot of Spanish at my gym.
Interesting. I mean, you're a little west. Little west. You know, a little Spanish, not that much Spanish.
So I think I'm gonna file. I'm gonna file August 10th.
Is that a date of specific? You know, is there something happening on August 10th?
No, Rabbono Shalom. 10, not 11. 10, not 9.
Okay, let's do it. I'm excited. 10 is a very halachic number.
Yeah.
10 commandments.
Yeah, 10 Sephiroth. 10 divine lights of emanation. Rabbono
Exactly.
Shalom.
Exactly. 10 Sephiroth, man.
I read the 10 Commandments on the rooftop at Chabad, and I was like, I took a photo of it, and then the next day I was talking with these atheist faggot retards on Clown House, and I started reading the 10. I was blown away at how angry they got, and then also how logical the 10 Commandments are, and how they can't really like get around.
No. It's like that. It's like, don't disrespect God. They get like really offended by that. It's like, really? You want us to respect all your bullshit? All the pronouns, all the, like, microaggressions. But, like, yeah, it's almost like putting water on a witch. I think because the Bible is the ultimate truth, it is like a vinegar baking soda situation. It, like, repels. And Job 20:28 is that understanding that the foundation of wisdom is the belief in the Lord, and the compelling evil is understanding. The foundation of wisdom is belief in the Lord, and compelling evil is understanding. And so that's why people don't realize that, like, when you're talking shit to one of these heathens, like, you never do that out of hate. It's like no different than just like doing a chore. Like, you should always do so out of love when you're talking to these people. But that's kind of why, like, you have to realize that you're doing them a favor, and you can't let them suck your time too much. That's why I don't go to the Clown House. I don't hate those atheists. They're just idiots.
Oh, I like mocking them, but they say if you have a deficit with the ladies, they say to study Torah because then you become irresistible.
Who said that?
It's like in a hymn or in a maxim book that I read. Like, if you want to become irresistible, read the Bible.
Yeah, well, because it's the truth. And you don't want to attract a bunch of Jezebels. You'll like attracts like. It's absolutely a good move. It's never a bad thing to study Torah. It also enhances all the mitzvahs. Because a lot of people, including atheists, they do good things by accident. So, like, why not? Like, I'm sure you or me, like, I've accidentally cooked a good dish all the time. because like I'm a home chef. I do my thing. But if I actually took it seriously and like learned recipes, that would enhance everything. Same thing with Torah. So just because like we like intuitively know don't steal and be nice to people, it's nice to have, you know.
Do you know what the difference is between reading a cookbook and reading Torah?
What's the difference?
When you read Torah, you know, you prepare yourself as the entree, the appetizer, the dessert. You make, you know, a 10-course meal of yourself. And if you read a book and it happens to be a recipe book, but you don't actually cook what you read, and you just read it, well, you didn't cook nothing, so you got nothing to eat. I'd say it's better to prepare yourself for dinner by reading Torah than actually reading a cookbook.
Welcome to the Top John Peter Show. Is brought to you by NordVPN. Reading Torah is the way of life. The John Kidder Show is brought to you by Aaron Del Mar for governor.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is
brought to you by Behind Enemy Lines.
He's really flying under the radar, and he knows he's gonna lose, so he's like, he still views himself as being like a viable political candidate, even in the face of an upcoming loss and all the negative publicity. The guy is you know, he's a
well his hope, which is very real, is kind of like during COVID, or kind of like how like Europe's a mess in general. And like America is making a lot of mistakes, a lot of bad investments, debt, a lot of things that Mayor John Kitover was talking about. But like part of the reason why America's not completely screwed is because you have Europe doing worse, Asia doing worse, Africa in worse shape, and so Aaron Del Mar benefits from like other Republicans and other Democrats being a shit show. Because Democrats, I'm not sure if you're following what's going on with CTU. Like, they're a complete mess. Like, in terms of their electioneering efforts.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny. Like, they haven't, like, they don't have near the same money they used to. Like, Stacey Gates is just like a Nepo baby, like, you know, just kind of like, she's like really, it's actually, I'm a huge fan of hers. Because she's bringing down CTU.
Yeah,
she's got like, follow her on Twitter. She like turns on commenting, of course, but you kind of see like, wow, she's like an egomaniac.
Yeah, she's mental, bro.
Yeah, I know, but like the way that she's running the electioneering efforts is also really bad. Because like people like that don't recruit good candidates, and they also don't, they'll burn bridges because of personal slights. And so like the CCU, like for the first time ever, has like no fucking power. Like Brandon Johnson might not even run for re-election. They haven't given him
Why wouldn't he rerun, man? I saw how much he got his first run from certain donors. I mean, the guy raised millions.
You know, he's tied with his best friend is the head of APAC for Chicago. I'm blanking on his name. Miles, I believe. I forgot. But it's literally Brandon Johnson's best friend. Like Brandon Johnson was a professional lobbyist, political hack for over a decade, and so Brandon does have all the avenues to do it. It's, I think. I don't think being mayor of Chicago is a good gig. Imagine if, like, are you into sports, any sports leagues at all? Soccer, football, basketball?
Cricket, mostly.
College? Ah, shit.
Tennis, European tour.
I mean, like, just think about, like, if you were to take over Blockbuster Video in 2026, maybe is a good metaphor. You know, like, why would you want to take over someone that's completely fucked financially? And then, like, the people that are putting you in there, you owe them favors that you can't follow through with. I do think he's going to run, and he's got the easiest pathway to the runoff. So I wouldn't count him out on losing. It's really a question of what's going on.
I don't think he can win. His approval rating's like 20%, and his odds on Kalshi are 150+1, dude.
No, Kalshi. So I look at the Kalshi thing. It's all fake. It's a micro market. Like I can get him up to like 20% for $50.
I see.
And people are undercounting the whole runoff system. But basically, you have to make the runoff to win, obviously. And he has the easiest path. Like he's the only like hardcore progressive incumbent mayor. So he's going to get the 20-25% he needs to get to the runoff. But then the question is, like, is it you're running against Janulius, Mendoza, Willie Wilson, and, like, a lot of those candidates would just beat his ass. Like, Janulius would beat the shit out of him. But I think Brandon can beat Mendoza. Because Mendoza is, like, moving as a Republican. And they'll be like, you're a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
You support Donald Trump. Like, I think he could beat her. I think he could beat Willie Wilson, but Wilson's not going to win. I think he could beat Quigley, but I think Quigley would beat him in a head-to-head. So we'll see. Quigley's such a fucking clown.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Maria Pappas, I think he'd beat Pappas.
Hey, it's me, Maria Pappas, your next mayor of Chicago. I'm in Greece at a wedding.
That's why Brandon Johnson has a chance. Is what if he gets lucky and some idiots in the runoff with him, like Paul Ballard last time.
Hey, it's me, Maria Pappas. Watch me do this dance.
I'm a dancer. I'm Maria Pappas. You got any wine?
I said she's unfit for office, and people were responding, agreed.
She's like a wine mom. She looks like literally.
My other favorite statement is that she's been banned from speaking with the Property Tax Assessment Software Corporation because she's so retarded.
Not surprised.
Yeah, people like that, because that's true. She was banned from communicating with, I think it's called Tyler Technologies. They're the ones
I wouldn't trust her to drive me. I'm like, hey, I need to get to Evanston. I don't want to trust her.
Hop on in, cowboy.
You get in the car.
Get in the car, handsome. I hope you like tall Greek women with some spunk.
You know what? That's not my type, friends. I do not like tall Greek women. That's not my type.
This will be my 27th campaign, and I'm going to dance right into the mayoral office.
Well, bless your heart, friend. I think that's wonderful, Marie Pappas.
It's another big fat Greek wedding with Maria Pappas.
I think you should pop it like it's hot. Pop it, lock it, and drop it.
Vote Maria Pappas, and I'll cut your property tax 25%. Day one.
You go for Maria Pappas, and she'll pop that ass. You go Pappas, and she'll
Everybody
pop that
loves a big fat Greek wedding, but nobody likes a big fat property tax bill. Vote Maria Pappas. I'm best friends with Samantha Steele. She was at my party drinking wine when she got DUI and told that Chinese cop he's got a little dick.
Vote for Pappas.
When Samantha Steele got pulled over, she said, "I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm waiting for my attorney."
So I know that guy. I know the attorney. He was running for office the same time my friend was running, and I was running too in 2022. And he was like afraid he was afraid he was going to lose to my friend, who was a military guy, Ben Hauser. I think you'd like him. Wonder what happened to him. But he basically would show up to like the early voting every fucking day, and became tight with my grandma Debbie, rest in peace. And I would talk to him, but he was such a loser. And I asked my friend, I'm like, do you think he was? I think he might have been having relations with Pappas. I mean, with Steele. Because they're both like single. They're both like divorced. And he's like a Cook County commissioner. He's not like a lawyer. He's like an actual elected official.
Well, when I met Samantha Steele, and she introduced me to this guy who helped me with my appeal, and she like physically touched me and walked me and like held me, and I was like, whoa. I was like, this is a touchy-feely woman.
Oh, she seems like a flirt for sure.
Yeah, she was a flirt.
And like she's not bad looking. I think I've definitely had a huge alcohol problem. I went to the Steele trial, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I'm gonna start drinking it like this year. Basically, the moral of this trial is that like if you drink and drive, just like tell the cop he has a small dick and just don't comply. That was the moral of the trial. Because what she did, she told the cop he had a small dick and didn't comply.
There's photos of her at the house
They had a
party.
bottle. What?
There's photos of her at the house party. They were drinking heavily at the party, and then she even had like open alcohol.
Yeah, I know. It was bullshit.
She's so fucking lucky, bro.
No, she's not. It's corrupt. They got a 90-year-old judge out of retirement just for this case.
Well, dude, I mean, do you know how much this chick is pulling down? Like, because she has property tax appeals throughout Illinois and Indiana while serving as the property tax commissioner.
She's a lawyer?
Yeah, her and her husband. You didn't read these articles about how she has all these property tax reassessment firms throughout the state and throughout Indiana? This bitch has a racket.
Good for you, Samantha.
Dude, she's got a business racket, bro. Her and her husband are making millions.
No, she's not married.
Well, a partner or something, but I remember when I read the article that she has all these...
She probably was married,
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just saying that I told her, I was like, yeah, they threw me off the ballot when I ran for committee person. I didn't have, I was short like 100 signatures, and she goes, I went through all that shit in the fucking middle of December. I was knocking on doors to get fucking petition signatures. I did it. I was like, shit, bitch, you did it.
She's like, she's got a motor mouth, and she's like, she probably beats on the ass too. I can totally see that conversation going out like that.
Yeah, she was like, keep fighting. I did it. I went door to door in the fucking cold, and I did it.
I did it. That is fucking bullshit. What are you doing tonight?
She's like, I did it for 30 minutes, then I sent in my worker.
You looking at the magical evening in Emerald Isle?
Yeah, never seen her at Emerald Island. Oh, man. There was a shooting outside of Halligan's in Lincoln Park. Did you see that on Lincoln?
My mom called me.
Yeah, I guess it was somebody with a CCL, carry conceal license, and they turned in the gun after the shooting or something.
Oh, so it was like a legit shooting? It wasn't a big defense?
I don't know if they, whatever. It was just somebody with a CCL, so that was the latest headline I saw.
Did they kill a bunch of people or just one?
I think it was like one fight or something.
Oh, that's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
No.
But it was a lot of casings, I think. I saw a ton of... anyways, I don't know what the whole story is. I'm just bringing it up.
It sucks that Chicago doesn't have a gun culture.
What are you talking about? There's lots of... Don't have a gun culture. We got 35 shootings every fucking weekend, bro. 50 shootings. It's a lot of guns.
It's amateur gun culture. Like, we don't, respect guns. And we don't have, But that's why you're seeing all the extra casings and the fucking drive-by, standby shootings and stuff. Because we don't have a gun culture. We're not raised to respect guns, learn about guns. And the only people that really do that are criminals. And they get all their shit from movies and hold the gun sideways and all that bullshit, dude. We don't have a gun culture, dude. No, we do not. Texas has a gun culture. Virginia has a gun culture. Arizona's got a gun culture. Dakota's got gun culture. We ain't got gun culture. We got pussy culture. We got dry chalk outside the dead body culture, No, man, we ain't got. I get in fights with I text you, my cousin has that podcast being Jewish. And I'm like, stop talking about security guards. We need more people to bring guns to synagogue. And that happens in Texas. It's like when I go to my, grandma Debbie, rest in peace. Her near synagogue, mom still lives there. They had AR-15s, just hanging around for fun. Yeah. Well, when there was a shooting at Texas synagogue, it was the only synagogue in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that has a no-gun policy.
Yep. That's what my dad told the Jewish Federation. He's like, take these stupid don't bring no gun signs in. That's like saying bring a gun in. Get rid of these fucking signs.
Exactly. Yeah, get these Jews here. These Jews are easier.
Yeah.
So stupid.
I don't know if they took my dad's advice.
Culture and people knew there was a 25% chance that whoever you robbed had a gun. You just wouldn't see that. You wouldn't see the same kind of shit. You wouldn't see the same kind of shit talking.
So when are you gonna send me the Illinois Record official news release on Aaron Del Mar?
2 Thursdays from now.
Bro, I mean...
I'm kidding. No, this week.
Yeah, send me some links, because I got some videos to make and some links to post. I mean,
No, I'm currently messing up with Kitover Industries before you make it official.
Holy shit.
Because by the 10th, they'll have some more restrictions.
I mean, whenever I took a screenshot of Severino's lawsuit, so tons of shit I just repost with Severino's, everything Bailey posts, I just repost the Severino lawsuit.
You have the full lawsuit?
Not the full one, just the screenshot.
You should do that. Or you should also repost it with the judge, how the judge ruled against Terry. There's some funny shit in there. He's basically like, yeah, I understand they're political, but like, what Newsom did, it was way above politics. He's a crazy person. It's pretty funny.
Any closing comments, thoughts, ideas, or opinions while you're on the John Kitover News podcast?
I just want to thank tremendous thanks. And when you're mayor, I don't want you to forget where you came from. It's very important because Brandon Johnson's someone who started off as an activist, lobbyist, now mayor. People forget where they came from.
Some people say they came from the gutter. I say I came from the clown house tent.
You did not come from the gutter. You came from the flowers of the Jefferson Park garden.
Well, if you look at my YouTube live right now, I'm in a clown costume. It looks actually really good. My T-shirt is crushing. I got some compliments today, and this hot chick was like, "Where is that T-shirt from?" I was like, "I wasn't born a clown." All right, what did I say? I didn't become a clown. I was born a clown.
Well, I just wish you nothing but luck. And you got this, John.
August 10th. That's when, dude, I was looking at my committee person, like old Instagram account with that guy George Stubbs and how we got him to submit his packet and all that bullshit. Bro, what a fucking waste of time that was. What a fucking horrible experience. Like, but we got the photos. We did some shit.
No, but next time, Barry told me the one to get the least amount. If you ever get a random person to do again, well, police accountability board, they just need 150, 250.
That's a good one.
But it can't be like George. It's got to be someone that at least has like a pulse.
Somebody like an abuse.
I feel like he smoked the petitions.
You mean like Pat Gibbons, because he's a high quality candidate?
No, not high quality, but it's not someone that's going to roll up use the petitions, like roll them up like with crack and weed and smoke it. Like a little more high, like a little. It doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be Pat Gibbons high functioning, but in between Gibbons and George. Because I think we should have. I think clown candidates are good.
I've never.
Like they're conversation starters.
I would. It's amazing. It's like having gone through these experiences. It's like intelligence is truly knowing what never to repeat again in your life, and like learning the lesson thoroughly and never ever doing the same stupid shit again. Because
I'm not an intelligent man.
Yeah, if the true intelligence is so dynamic, each action.
What you're talking about is wisdom. Because come on, there's the three types of intelligence.
Yeah, fiery intelligence,
knowledge, wisdom, and
bodily intelligence. I'm just saying that like. There were some gems. Actually, see, George was like the outlier and the horrible person, but this one woman, this one African American woman,
she was so sweet. She was so sweet, and she did such a good job with the signatures. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, when I ran
a little bigger.
When I ran for Congress, she responded to the Craigslist ad again. These people are like constantly looking in that government section on Craigslist, and dude, it's amazing. Like. All three times, all 2 times. Anyways, any other final closing comments, questions, ideas, anything you want to say to this YouTube live?
We want Mashiach now. It's still not sundown.
We want Mashiach now.
We want Mashiach now.
And we don't have to wait.
Speed it up. And to support the moment of silence on behalf of the Rebbe. We're really pushing that right now. John. We're really pushing the moment of silence. So if you can put out something saying you support that,
let's just take a moment of silence right now. Bono Shalom. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Yasher Kola.
Okay, peace. Bye.
trying to sit here and run this suck and fuck self-suck circle of like, oh my god, control the room, and oh my god, these things are not these things because and because reasons. It's like, dude, you weren't even interacting with T when he was giving you logical arguments to fight onto, but you're so cognitively dense that you don't fundamentally understand. Listen, Rabbi, if you don't have the cognitive ability to follow the arguments, just say that. So like you're saying.
Do you think I need an opinion from
Oh wait, there's that word again. Opinion, right? Opinion, therefore it's true, right? Rabbi?
I need an opinion from my man from the outside.
My opinion could be a verse, so why does it matter? So wait, hold on, Rabbi, there is nothing to talk about here because we've addressed both morality and truth, topics in which you invoked into the room, and yet you were doing the biggest jerk circle by yourself by not answering a single goddamn prompt that was sent your way. So what the fuck else is there to talk about here?
Bro got put on your side and keep going up.
Rabbi, you're the epitome of everything that... Rabbi, you're the epitome of anti-intellectualism at its finest, and you try to play it off so well. Like, you think you're smart, you try to join, like, the smart kids club back when you were, like, Sunday school or some shit like that, and then you just got rejected.
I think, can you get this mansplainer under control?
Mansplainer? No, I'm explaining your dumbassery in the fucking room right now. That's what I'm crashing out.
Why?
If you think this is a crash out, you really haven't seen me crash out before. But I really think that you were actually like able to follow along. You were not
okay. If you're not crashing out, they don't care about you composing yourself.
That if you were able to follow along, you would actually agree with what I was saying. You would say, hold on a second, wait a minute. You would say, yeah, you're right. Your preferences don't make things good out. Right? Your preferences weren't related to true goals anyway. You would agree with me if you were actually following the argument I'm making here. But you're so far behind the curve, you're not even getting what I'm saying. Can we all just take a moment here to all bow down and pay reverence to our absolute God in the chat room like this?
Yeah,
welcome, brother. Welcome, brother. Welcome, brother. Welcome back, brother.
I'm driving right now. I will talk later.
Fuck you,
You're steering with your car. What? Yeah, we're doing pedals with my balls.
God damn.
I don't think I'm going to use some background again. I might use the gaps.
No, wait.
Yourself better.
Important conversation. Where's my balls in your butthole?
Yes, thank you, Lucas. Listen, you gave me a one-way trip into Boner Town, buddy. Way to go. Yeah! Yes!
Listen, you guys get distracted.
That's why.
Yeah, dude.
Brother,
you are a one-man circus here, and everybody's everybody's paying for a ticket to watch you eternally be blessed.
How come every time you talk to a religious person over film, bro, they always talk like this with one exact same note in every word?
Hey, Rabbi, no one is keeping you here. Rabbi, no one's keeping you here. You must follow my balls on your chest. No one is keeping you here. Rabbi, are you trying to fuck me, bro? You can just say that. I'll raise the day. Rabbi, I'm not Jewish. I don't eat kosher, brother. It's like that. I think it's like an procedure. Rabbi, you have the freedom to leave, but if you don't, I just want to go under the I'm just going under the assumption you're going to put my nutsack on your forehead. I'm under the assumption now that you want my nutsack laid to the rest of your life on your forehead. Rabbi, if I dip my nuts in ink and paint it on your forehead, right? 4 years cavities, that now is sacred.
butt cheeks, just hold my phone here.
But so why nobody take the guy serious?
Rabbi, you were the butt end of every joke of every.
Let's try to accept this as a wrong topic.
People are not appreciating what you do.
Much effort and of having is such pleasure that is neither good nor useful. This thing was easy itself into our constitution. It was its substance and material and its consolation.
I'm falling for it, buddy! Welcome back to the Thunderdome!
Does it subsist?
I think what you expect me to take it serious.
Rabbi, shut the fuck up! Jesus Christ, you're boring me with dukes. Rabbi, I do. I would get turned my power by a blank wall that you told me during the I take this one seriously. Everyone just wants to put their balls in my butt cheeks. They don't want to
My question is for you. Now, my question is not for you.
I get my standards from. I told you my preferences. You're like, last thought of that.
It's not like threat. It's clearly not how it works.
I was showing a charity and I wanted to get you guys out. And that's why I decided to see my brother go and
Rabbi, you want to talk about charity? I got 2 shekels to give you. It's my W.
Yes, the boss is here.
Listen, he's talking about charity. Might as well fucking hand it out like fucking presents.
At first I was like, dude, fuck you, you're not a real rabbi. But now it's like, it's always thrown in, you're not a real rabbi.
They all free. This is pretty nice.
That's actually sad that was 110%.
No. I mean 110% of 1,000%. I put some goals. He's really very low effort. I'm sorry, Rovis. I know I disappointed you. I should have said like how fucking something about this asshole or something like that.
That's what the weather's would do.
Listen, he's talking about charity.
Yeah, 32 phones on there. Yeah, that's true.
Listen, don't have to take try.
Yeah, RFK famously did that with the Lizzie Nazi back in the 1980s.
That's insane.
I'm still dude, you went on a podcast about his affinity for bouncing with Olivia Nuzzy back in like 1982.
Jesus, we got the Epstein files before the Epstein files, guys. What a fucking goober. I'm like so convinced he was trolling the entire time. I cannot.
He is. No, he is. He's not like.
He's not a real person.
The first time. No. Okay, so like the thing that like this goes back into our classic comedy series. That was way too stupid. That was way too stupid for him to be a serious person. Like he either had some sort of like mental deficiencies or something wrong up there, or like he's true.
I don't agree. I think
In this sense, medieval masters of magic justified in claiming by the evocation of a given demon worthy of dim laws might acquire with knowledge of all sciences.
Listen, that's my point. Hey, Heroides, if you're down, I'm down, we can totally Eiffel Tower him while suspended in here.
I'm joining a John Kitover.
I don't find that.
Listen, I'll be...
Like, I want to look at my niece and
any other kids join the Thunderdome of charitable donations?
I need to ask you something quickly. Tia, what do you think about GPT
5.6? And I rated Drive GPT 5.6.
That's what I've done. I literally told my coding agent, who I've named Max, because I used to have him on the Max plan. As his own tool, English generation and YouTube and it's super fast compared to
Oh my god, Grok is a fucking monster, dude. I use for my coding, I'm doing Claude. So I use 3 different platforms. Python, isn't it? So that's going to be through PowerShell. But I would definitely just So I've been working on a new software that I'm actually going to release here pretty soon. Essentially my goal is to compress timelines that it takes to transact the real estate as a whole. So basically, I'm systemizing the fractionality of real estate, right? And I'm not necessarily making a clone, rather building an AI-powered system. And basically what I've used that three combo for is to build the scaffolding, and then I'm going to go in with an individualistic like a Claude, for instance, and I'm going to wind up actually automating that entire back-end process via
Let me tell you, it's a complete waste of time. And let me tell you, I know this because I I did it myself. I separate UI using different CLIs or SDKs to kind of house it. I even tried doing a multi-agent setup today, and it's very restrictive. And I definitely say if you're going to use multi-agents, use them through Claude's own interface, because under the Ultra code you can literally send out agents to do whatever you want. And they come back super fast.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, especially like with Grok in the mix, like obviously 5.6 and Fable 5 are the model death of frontier models. But Grok 4.5 is the weird Uncle Joe. If you spend an afternoon with, it'll take you to Poopland. And it's great. Like, it's right? You know what I'm saying?
He scares me though. Did you see the experiment?
Actually, I haven't, like, sometimes I throw things that are more elaborate than my intelligence, can understand. So I'll put the paper into AI and says, hey, explain.
Pathetic. The mundane one, at the worldly level, the chains are made of habits, habit mind. We are given a way of thinking, we get stuck in it, and it's very difficult to get out of it. The second component, which is esoteric, and that's the component which the Sufis talk about when they say you are looking for realization. You are looking for realization, you are knocking on an open door. These doors are already open.